Hi, I'm Zach. I'm a student. I like making things. So this is my most recent creation, the lamp. So I pretty much for the first month of quarantine had school work to do, but not a ton to do. And I think at some point I was like, all right, you'll be here for a while, you might as well find some things to do. So I was on Reddit and I was looking, there's a 3D printing subreddit, and people will post questions about it or tips about how to do this and that. But someone just posted a very simple photo of this lamp they made. And usually I'll see something which looks super cool and I'll be like, yeah, no way I can print that, no way I can model that. This was somewhat straightforward, and I knew I could model it and I can always add my own spin to it because it wasn't super complicated. So I said, I have the time right now, and that's something that I can actually see myself creating. So I kind of took on the challenge. I mean, I've always liked working with my hands from a young age. I think I started out with Legos or stuff like that. I guess a Lego is a metaphor for a building block of anything. I think it's always been satisfying to see 1,000 parts and then make it into one final creation that actually can work in some way. I think the first one that I was somewhat proud of was I built a standing desk for myself. It was just nailed to the wall of my closet. I think that was the first item I built that was somewhat useful. I think once we got the 3D printer, that kind of opened a new door of new things I can create at a much higher quality. So I would say my design process is start out with an idea, and then I'll break it down into make, 5 or 10 different possibilities of how it could look. Pick my favorite, maybe get my favorite few aspects of each one, really hash it out, find all the flaws, fix those flaws, and then get into the construction. I think there's a big difference between what my ideal design process is and something that I would use in class or something versus what I actually do. And more recently, as I've been taking more design-oriented classes, I've been getting better at really sticking to more of a process that kind of works well, that I've proved to myself that it works well. So this is my most recent creation, the lamp. I'll show it from a nice side angle here. It's super simple. There's the base, there's this little end cap, which is not really relevant, but I thought it could kind of help with the feng shui of things. This connector piece, which is just connecting these 2 pieces of wood, then the shade here. So it's really just 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 printed areas, then just 2 pieces of just straight 2x2 wood. The nice thing about the wood is there's no nails, there's no screws, it's all just held in by pressure. So if you want, you can slide the shade around on this. So the first step was just sketch it out. My main limitation was the size of the 3D printer. I had to make sure everything that I was printing was going to fit on the printer. So right off the bat, I went and I made the base. The charger was just right up on the bottom here. So you can just drop your phone or your AirPods or something right on it and it'll charge. Made the connector, made the back, and then I kind of procrastinated with the shade because I knew it would be a weird shape and I wasn't sure how I was going to print it. The angle that the lampshade printed at, the infill had a really cool pattern, and the light would kind of diffuse and shine through the infill. So it made the lampshade not just a plain white cone. It kind of added some texture and some emotion and some excitement to it. The wiring took 2 attempts. The first one, I think it's partially I just was kind of excited and wanted to finish it because that was the last step. And I don't have a ton of soldering experience, and that shorted the circuit a few times. So I kind of had to go back to the drawing board and slow down and use a few extra tools to kind of make it a much prettier soldering experience, and that works great. The final product is pretty good compared to what I initially thought. A little part of me isn't super happy because it wasn't my idea, but I did add my own twist. If anybody can see something, but then to actually make it, it's a whole different aspect. What other people thought was pretty cool and what I'm pretty proud of is having the wireless charging added into it, and it makes the lamp less of just a light source and more of a thing that you're actually going to be using and interacting with a bit more. One thing with design, it can be exciting or also could be pretty anxiety provoking, is what's going to actually happen once you turn something on. Because you can build a lamp and it might look really good, but once you click the on button,